scenery around Rainy Lake almost every day and firsthand is Barry Woods. He's known as Woody to his friends. And for him, as well as for us, a perfect day out on Rainy Lake includes a boat ride, a little fishing, and of course, some shore lunch. Even when Rainy Lake lives up to its inclement name, it's a beautiful place. Just ask Ranier native Barry Woods. Known as Woody to most, he's unabashedly proud of his hometown and Rainy Lake.
Look at that, I got a fish. When I started reeling up, I got a fish.
Under the professional banner of Woody's fairly reliable guide service, he makes a living fishing the lake's deep, clear waters.
It's not hard to be a fishing guide on Rainy Lake. It's just not. There's just too much to see and do. And we have many different species of fish. We have sturgeon, we have walleye, bass, crappie, northern, muskie, sauger, whitefish, suckers, you know, there's quite a few fish. We're doing it sportsman-like. Now that there, as you can see, this is probably about a 7-pound pike. No, that's a good eater. That's a good eater. It's about 2.5, 3 pounds. And that is just one spectacular eating fish right there. I fish because I like to have fun. And so I eliminate the hardcore fishermen right off the bat. The people that call me usually got a sense of humor and they just want to go out and have fun. And hey, let's face it, this lake is great. You can always get enough to eat. And some days you really, you catch, big numbers of fish. But for a lot of people, like Buck Johnson at Curtis Island used to say, he says, guys would ask him, they say, Buck, how's the fishing? He'd say, fishing is awesome. Catching's a little slow.
Woody comes from a long line of anglers. His grandfather was a commercial fisherman on Rainy Lake in the 1920s. His uncle Butch was a fishing guide in the 50s and 60s. It was Butch who launched Woody in the guide business when Woody was just 13 years old. The legacy of his ancestors made a lasting impression on Woody. He's still amazed at how they found sunken reefs by dangling cast iron weights instead of punching buttons on a depth finder.
Sometimes I like to think they had more guide pride. They were fishing guides and they had to perform, but still they had their tough days because they didn't have all this equipment. So they had to be part entertainer, part fishing guide. And some occasionally have to listen to a confession.
Today, Woody uses the same formula as his ancestors. As a guide, he's part teacher, part entertainer, and part philosopher.
If you just keep your line down there, sooner or later you're going to catch a fish. You don't mind if I quote Ovid, do you? The Greek philosopher? Chance is always powerful. May your hook be always cast. In the pool where you least expect it, there will be a fish. Isn't that a nice quote? And that's what fishing is. You just keep your hook in the water, you might catch something. I'll tell you what though, that's a good eater. I can take the Y bones out of that and that baby will taste just beautiful. You know that? A lot of people, Northern's got a bad rap, but this is a nice eating fish right here. I always want to let the big ones go and eat these little ones. Not too little. This is about as small as you want to keep, but this is the best eating. These little northern pike, I tell you, they're just the sweetest crappies. They really are. Take the Y bones out of these babies. I'm telling you guys are in for a treat.
A fishing expedition with Woody wouldn't be complete without shore lunch. Watching someone else clean the fish and prepare the meal is a treat in itself.
Okay, this we recycle. See, the idea behind the bacon is that you need the grease, Not only that, you're gonna have a knock your socks off sandwich. Well, this is kind of a Rainy Lake tradition. Like I said, I used to go with my Uncle Butch, watch him. But you'll find if you go with a lot of other guides on the lake, everybody's got their own system. It's gotta be systematic. So, some guys fire up the stove right away and start cooking. But I like to do all the prep work first. I should tell you that Again, the bacon and onion sandwich is a Rainy Lake tradition. It's unique to Rainy Lake. You won't find that anywhere else. Although it is true that they tried this on Lake of the Woods one time, and the guy burned the bacon. So they've been gun shy ever since.
The lunch menu is the same as those generally served on other North Country lakes. The main course includes fish, of course, and fried potatoes and baked beans. But the appetizer sets this shore lunch apart.
Lots of onion. Sure you got lots of lemon juice on there. This is a Rainy Lake jewel here. It just doesn't taste the same if you try this at home. In fact, kids, don't try this at home because the bacon grease can be awfully hot.
As for the fish, Woody's secret batter allows the flavor of the fish to come through. And anytime you get a taste of fresh fish in the North Woods, you know you're onto something great.
Yeah, you can start with the fish, or you can start with the potato. Some people like the beans.
I gotta start with the fish.
Mm.
And do you have to use utensils? What are the rules on that?
You can use your fingers. Ah, this is as good as yesterday.
What's a good day out fishing for you?
Well, today's pretty good, isn't it? See, that's you can't put that in numbers. I've had some really great days and caught 2 fish, and I've had some spectacular days and I've caught 100 fish. I've had some awesome days that I haven't caught any fish. You know, I mean, you can't, there's no way you can put it into numbers.
You know, Jim, those onion sandwiches are really good, but it's nice to wash it down or finish it off with a good ice cream cone, and you can get a great one here in Ranier, a very big one.